Hi there. Welcome to Gnostic Vlog 4, my fourth confession of the week, or my weekly confession, that is. I'm in the horns of a dilemma here, because on one hand, I'd really like for somebody to take over management of public relations or promotion. I like a promotion management team to do all the things that I just can't be bothered to do, and because my eyes get strained and I can't do all the things I want to do to promote my work. I want someone to take over management of my website and just generally promote me, and I don't know, put my book on lulu.com and things like that. But on the other hand, I'm conscious that really I shouldn't be drawing too much attention to myself, really. And I should create content, but not actually bother to promote it at all. And if God wills to put me in touch with certain people at a certain time, and they can network with other people, then gradually my content will get known. A bit like it used to be in the days before the internet. Um, now everybody is talking, but no one says a word, as John Lennon sang. Nobody told me it would be like this. And so I'm also aware that, I did have a channel once and it was provocative and lots of innovation. And some people said it had a huge amount of spiritual insight and was incredibly useful to them, which I'm grateful for people saying that. It was also mischievous, disturbing, provocative, and went way over the top sometimes. But so the main thing was I criticised a couple of cults, you see. And the thing about cults is that they have no sense of humour. They can't take any criticism of any kind at all. And they're very, very serious. And and they also retaliatory as well. So they retaliate against anything that you say against them, which basically is just simply, false flag, a campaign, and get you kicked off the network. And of course, the network, the internet is a huge place, obviously, but it's also a kind of small village, and people know who you are. And it won't perhaps take them very long to find out who I am, and kick me out of this channel as well. Um, for just the personal reasons, actually, they just think that I'm a danger, I'm a risk to public order, and also risk to their power base of these cults as well, because they like to have power, and they like to control knowledge, and they like also a tabula rasa. I was in contact with somebody from a UFO cult, and had a couple of conversations by email, and suddenly he said to me, "Oh, you've been around the block a bit, haven't you?" And then I never heard from him again. So the cults like tabula rasa. They like people not to know anything, because they want to control the input of knowledge into their cult members. They don't want to dialogue. They don't want to discover the truth through discussion, through dialogue. Or if there is a discussion, they want to control it all. Um, and I never wanted a cult. I could have had a cult quite easily. I could have started one, but I absolutely loathe them. They are mind control sources. They are, there is no. They hate freedom of speech. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want to think for you, and I'm not going to do that. I'm really not going to do that. I know it sounds a bit, martyred of me to say that. I also don't want to be a martyr either. Um, I don't know if you know this story of there's this network called Channel 4 in the UK television scene, and they didn't invite Boris Johnson to this debate, and they stopped his one of his representatives, Michael Gove, from entering the building even, and it was on climate change, and they put a they put an ice sculpture on the seat where Boris Johnson would have been. And of course, inevitably, the Tories, the Conservative Party, are very angry. And they're even talking about revoking the license of Channel 4 in the new year in retaliation. And I mean, I mean, Channel 4 has got this sort of martyr complex going on. They really do want to lose their license. They really want to be taken off the air. I mean, will it do them more publicity? You get them more publicity? I don't know. Perhaps it will. But there's a sort of tribalism and martyr death wish complex going on and people in politics at the moment. And I don't want to be a martyr. I mean, there was a bit of martyrdom, martyr complex to my last channel, I suppose, really, and I just deliberately went on and on, pushing buttons and until the plug was pulled. So I suppose we all have this martyrdom complex. We all want to die for the cause. But basically, when you die for the cause, sometimes the cause can die with you. You know what I mean? And that, and I mean there is a. I mean, I was going to upload a video about social justice and Gnosticism, and almost as an apology, like I'm a cool person, really. I'm into social justice, really, and I thought, I'm not going to upload it because Gnosticism is an individualistic path of personal salvation, and apart from evangelizing, apart from persuading other people to look at Gnosticism with an open mind, social justice has got nothing to do with Gnosticism. Really, it hasn't. And I thought, but I didn't want to be somehow I didn't want to be seen as having that opinion. So I made this video, saying, well, I think Gnosticism, could have a social justice element to it, and I think no, it couldn't. It really couldn't. People like to say, "Oh, Buddhism is selfish." Yeah, maybe Buddhism is selfish, but really, that's kind of like it doesn't work otherwise. you know. I mean, Gnosticism is a personal ascetic as well, and asceticism doesn't work if you're involved in the world. It really, really doesn't. So I'm actually not going to upload that video I was going to upload. I'm actually just going to throw it in the trash can. And if people think I'm some kind of Nazi because I won't get involved with social issues, because I think Gnosticism has got nothing to do with social issues, then you just have to believe that I'm a Nazi, even though I'm not. Even though I have concerns about the world and about human rights, they're concerns which will have to be expressed in ways which have nothing to do with Gnosticism. I wouldn't be wearing a Gnostic hat if I was concerned with human rights. The Gnostic hat is concerned with a completely different thing. As I say, but to go back to the main point, I really do have a dilemma. I mean, I suppose it's my ego wants my content to go places because I think I have something to contribute to Gnosticism, which is pure egotism, really, when you think about it. But the other way is just to create content for God. I mean, that's why you should do everything in life is for God. You put on a play, it's for God. You write music, it's for God. You create a video, it's for God. It's not for your fellow man. It's not even for yourself, really. Well, I mean, only insofar as yourself and God are connected. So I suppose it's 30% for yourself and 70% for God. as it might be. But as a Gnostic, you are like the Christians, who are waiting in the desert for the second coming, in the early part of the second century. I mean, and maybe, and as you see, it depends how you define apocalypse, of course. There's a personal apocalypse involved. There's a personal second coming. Maybe if you privatize these terms, then you might be getting somewhere. And I mean, I have a. I have to forgive me. I'm not feeling very well today. I've got an offer of an interview with somebody who could possibly put this channel on the map as a result of the interview. I'm still thinking about that. I'd love someone to promote my stuff because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to create content, but I'm not going to promote it. I can't be bothered. And there's a part of me which doesn't seem to think it's a very good idea or even very moral, really. So I'm a very split, complicated person, and I have my doubts, and I have my expanding theology of Gnosticism, and I'm a seeker after Gnostic truth. I wouldn't say I've ever had a Gnostic experience. I don't think I ever have, but I'll discuss that sort of later when I'm feeling a bit better. So I don't know, and I think somebody said this was a great channel, and I thank you for that comment. It's very encouraging. Otherwise, I haven't had many comments. I've got this guy who leaves epigramic poetry, epigrams, poetical epigrams to all my videos, which I'm very grateful for because they're interesting, even if sometimes I have no idea what they're on about. But it's a foil to my analytical mind. You got these sort of poetic outbursts, which speak to the reader on a different level, not the intellectual level, not even on the emotional level, but on an intuitive level, which I think good poetry should always speak to a person on the intuitive level. And the words should go beyond themselves. So I'm grateful for these epigrams that appear underneath all my videos, or most of them anyway. So I'm just going to keep on creating content as best I can. I'm not trying not to get distracted by worldly matters. As I said somewhere, the demiurge in this dimension finds the good as tasty as the evil. So the God to whom people pray on this dimension, that God is feeding psychic energy off you on many levels. Whatever you do, your actions create energy, and that energy is food for this creature. So never forget that. And maybe I take a pessimistic view of the world. No doubt I do. That's why Gnosticism actually suits me because I'm a very pessimistic person and a natural depressive. So I like depressive religions. Religions that are very depressive and not at all positive and see the world in terms of nightmare rather than ecstatic dream. And I'm not even sure I'm into kind of improving my consciousness. I'm waiting in the desert, wearing sackcloth and ashes.